Hey, what's up guys, Team Booster Break, and welcome to another top 10 video. We all know how rare and cool certain amiibo are. With scalpers and the low supply, it's nearly impossible to get any of those really rare or cool amiibos anymore. So for the common person who just wants to go to their local Toys R Us or Target or Walmart, wherever, besides Little Mac, Pit, Rosalina, Meta Knight, who are the coolest common amiibo? That's why I present to you my top 10 favorite common amiibo. Number 10. Donkey Kong. Unfortunately for Donkey Kong, he isn't too detailed of a character in the first place, but Nintendo did a really fantastic job making this as detailed as they could. They were able to capture all of the detail and texture in his fur, as well as being able to add a little bit more by making his tie flap in the wind. Now, Donkey Kong had potential to be much higher on the list just because he's one of my favorite Nintendo characters of all time, but unfortunately, he's in the middle of taking a dump. The stands that Nintendo included, I'm not sure what exactly they were thinking, but yeah, Donkey Kong's stand definitely could have been a lot better. Number 9. Toon Link. For such a small figure, Toon Link really does show a lot of detail. If you look at his shield, you'll see a whole bunch of detail, but what you don't see is that when you turn him around, you actually see all of the detail on the sheath, and it's even more detailed than the regular Link version. Now, because it's the Toon version, it does not show nearly as much detail in the face or in the sculpt, but it does provide a much better canvas for some really cool custom amiibos. Number 8. Peach from the Super Smash Bros. Line. I'm not too big of a fan of Peach, that's why she's so low on the list, but she is one of the most detailed common amiibo you will find. Her sculpt is fantastic, and her dress is also even malleable. But the thing that really puts her over the top are the gold accents all on her dress. Number 7. Yoshi from the Super Smash Bros. Line. So the only difference really between the Super Mario Bros. Yoshi and the Super Smash Bros. Yoshi is the pose. The Super Smash Bros. Yoshi, he's like strutting and it just looks pretty derpy, and I think it's really funny. The Super Mario Bros. Yoshi, that one's just a generic pose, and he's standing a little too upright in my opinion, and he just looks plain and boring. They both have an equal amount of detail, so the only thing that's really separating them, and the only reason why Yoshi is here, is because I enjoy Yoshi, and I think the Super Smash Bros. Pose is much better than the Super Mario Bros. Pose. Number 6. Mario from the Super Smash Bros. Line. That's right, classic old Super Smash Bros. Mario. It was my first ever amiibo, and it is my absolute favorite Mario that they've made yet. And, you know, of course the golden one is better, but normal, common Mario, this is definitely the best one. He's in the normal Smash Bros. Pose that we all know and love, but the thing that really makes him stick out to me is the fact that he's one of the only amiibo that has an accessory. The fireball that he's holding really makes it a much more detailed figure and actually adds a lot to the amiibo. Just as an added bonus, if you look closely at his overalls, you can actually see that they added texture to the pants. So it's not just a normal matte finish, and I think that is awesome. Number 5. Sonic. Now for some people, Sonic is not too much of a common amiibo, but around me, you can get Sonic almost everywhere and they have a ton in stock, so that's why he's on this list. Sonic is number 5 for a whole bunch of reasons, one of them being the fact that we're seeing a Sonic with Nintendo branding, and it is just a beautiful combination. As far as detail goes, he's not really too detailed to begin with, so they really couldn't do much to him. But regardless, with what they do have, they did a good job. The only downside about the Sonic is the huge clear plastic, but it compensates for it because he's in one of the coolest poses of all of the amiibo. Number 4. Luigi from Super Smash Bros. So this is probably going to be one of the most controversial picks that I have. I have Luigi at number 4, but it's simply because I love Luigi in the planking position. I don't know if it's just me from my childhood or whatever it may be, but I just always remember Luigi planking. It was always one of the funniest things, and it will be for the rest of my life. Luigi was always one of my favorite characters because I always was player 2 whenever I'd play video games with my older brother, because he would always take control and be player 1. So it was always Mario and Luigi, so Luigi just holds a special place. I'm sure a lot of people probably like the Super Mario Bros. Luigi more, but for me, this Luigi from Super Smash Bros. Is definitely deserving of the number 4 spot. Number 3. Samus. Samus was always really cool to begin with, but they did an absolutely incredible job on this amiibo. One of my favorite things about certain amiibos is the glossy metallic paint, and Samus is a perfect example of that. The paint apps on it are actually really good as well. For such a small and detailed figure, they were able to get that metallic paint to work perfectly. If you want an aesthetically pleasing as well as a quality amiibo, definitely consider getting yourself a Samus. Number 2, Mega Man. Like I was saying with Samus, the paint job on the Mega Man is absolutely fantastic. For the Super Smash Bros. Line, they're all just the same poses that they are as trophies or in the game, so it's understandable that he's in that pose. But if it was just in a little bit more of an action-y pose, this has major potential to be number 1 on the list. Also, like Sonic, he's a little bit more rare in certain places, but like I said before, in my area you could find him everywhere. Mega Man 3 is one of my favorite games of all time, and Mega Man in general is just one of my favorite characters of all time. Being able to see Mega Man in a Nintendo packaging is just amazing, and that is why with his paint and everything else about him, he holds the number 2 spot. Number 1, Link. This Link is one of the most detailed amiibo that they currently have out on the market. When pics of the Link amiibo first came out, he was seen on a nice, thin, clear stand. Then when the official pics were released, he had this atrocity. He is literally wetting himself on the amiibo. Despite the infamous pee stand, we do have to still appreciate the Link amiibo for what it is. The detail on the shield, the detail on the sheath, the detail in his face just puts everything else on the back burner and lets us really appreciate how well they did. If you're new into amiibo collecting, or you don't have a lot of money to spend but you still want to buy an amiibo, I completely urge you to spend it on this Link. It perfectly exemplifies what amiibos are and what they should be, because this is one of the most detailed, and it's a really popular character, so it's not like they gave all the detail to some random person. This amiibo is the biggest bang for your buck and easily holds the spot as my favorite common amiibo. So everyone, those are my top 10 favorite common amiibo. Definitely be sure to let me know who your favorite top 10 or top 5 favorite common amiibo are down below in the comments, because I'm definitely interested to know. But that's gonna do it. So thank you guys all so much for watching, and until the next top 10 video, I will see you guys all next time. I do already have those 3 amiibo coming in the mail. Oh no, I don't have Ike actually. So that's perfect. I still might, oh, I don't know. I'm okay, sweet.